Good evening, dear educators. On behalf of Kriti Prakashan Private Limited, I, Dr. Farzana Shakil Ali, welcome you all to the Learning Journey with Urja Pedagogy Enhancement Program, an initiative of Kriti Prakashan Private Limited. Kriti Prakashan Private Limited is a Lucknow based publishing house which began its operations in the year 2000. Having firm faith in its motto that is shaping nation through education, the company has spread its wings of knowledge pan India and abroad. Apart from producing quality content for children, our vision statement also includes updation of teachers and educators by empowering them through capacity building trainings and workshops twice a year. Our initiative, Urja, Pedagogy Enhancement Program, focuses on empowering educators in teaching pedagogies in alignment with National Education Policy 2020, Learning Outcomes by NCERT, and Bloom's Taxonomy. We are glad to share that our Urja training series for the session 2021 and 22 is ongoing, and today is the second last online training in the series. It will continue till tomorrow and it will end with early childhood care and education, a training on how to teach pre primary students. That is the foundation stage as per NEP 2020. Today we have capacity building workshop on pedagogy of teaching computers to middle school students. And we have with us our resource person for this session, Dr. Dheeraj Mehrotra, who is a known face in the training field. Dr. Dheeraj Mehrotra is an educational innovator, author, Limca book record holder for developing maximum educational apps, a national teacher awardee awarded by late President Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He remains engaged in teaching, and for the last 2 decades, he has worked as school teacher, principal, teacher trainer, academic evangelist, and a school auditor. He is also a TEDx speaker and a Udemy premium instructor. We welcome you on board, Dr. Dheeraj, and we look forward to some good deliberation and insights on the topic. And I think all teachers are going to benefit and will learn on how to teach computer in the most effective way because it's all about digital world, digital literacy, and computational thinking. So over to you, Dr. Dheeraj. I
Thank you,
would
madam.
request you
Thank
to
you so
share
much.
your
Yeah,
PPT also.
I'll do that, ma'am. Yeah. Thank you so much. And I'm really excited to share my views at this DigiNurture platform, the Urja initiative towards training teachers globally now. And it's really a great matter of pride for me, of course, to be a part as a resource. Well, looking forward, I believe Corona and post Corona, the expertise with the momentum of gaining knowledge through the adoption of technology has taken a new frame. And for IT teachers, of course, with the march of time, it has become more of demand in particular view of integrating the technology passage in all the subjects integration. And thanks to the power of CBSC initiatives as well, wherein nearly every day we get a circular of tying up with whether it's artificial intelligence, augmented reality, or virtual reality for say. So today I take this opportunity, of course, to share some of the views for teachers on practical teaching skills, the pedagogy, and how to make your classrooms interesting and fun-filled as far as the IT competency and the delivery is concerned. Looking forward with the very passage, we also look forward to showcase learning in view of the expertise which is required with the march of time. And I have this pleasure to share my screen now, which accumulates on ground of what and why of competency to be groomed with the march of time to cater to the needs of the Google generation. Well, friends, when we talk about capacity building program for teachers, the ICT teachers need to equip themselves with more of the understanding. The privilege counts with the notion of how prepared they are for the next phase of the tech integration. Nobody heard about the platforms we are talking about these days. For this reason, there has to be a competency in particularly the ICT teachers who need to look forward to the preface of preparedness for the new normal. Well, friends, as challenges grow day by day for educators, we need to also look forward to the, the total preface of coding and computer programming. Catering to the needs, of course, there is a demand, and we can't be teaching the way of yesteryears where we had programming languages. For sure, the new phrase of coding has, you know, entered the portals of our classrooms, and this has to be, dignified with the very presence and the participation of our children. For sure, they are curators of knowledge, and also they are looking forward with the preface of how best, they are going to be defining the ICT learning, whether we call it coding or computer science or information technology, or simple the way computer studies or computer learning or computer applications. Now with these framework, you are defined and you are crafted to make use of a particular book or a curriculum to follow. But at times, this happens that you when you turn the book which has been selected for your curriculum, you notice that 90% of the syllabus is what you have not heard of even. But as a computer teacher, you just can't go to the principal and say, madam or sir, I have not done this. So you need to revisit, go to the portals, go to the Google, find out what it's all about. And with the capacity, I believe, as computer teachers, when you learn one language and develop that competency, the preparedness for that, of course you can do any language, and that's what we have been doing. Because as a computer teacher myself, I remember I learned basic COBOL Fortran way back, you know and now with the competency of Java and C++, and even other programming skills, we need to dwell on that learning. So that logical framing is what same we are going to be teaching to our students as well, in the very passion of teaching, which is a hard work, not only a hard work or a smart work. So there has to be a connect with the children whenever we are teaching them, whenever we are trying to integrate that learning in the classroom, and whenever we are going to motivate them of the learning spectrum. Also on the go is the programming skills, which we need to nurture with the march of time, the logic skills, the creativity. Now, it is just not going to be something like when I'm prepared in my classroom and I ask my children to do some programming. Of course, there need to be some brushing up of their logic skills as well. So, we need to discuss something like pre-classroom lecture, wherein we are going to be defining some terms which are going to be used while they are developing the logic and the creativity in the classroom. For that reason, teachers, I'm happy to share some of the platforms wherein we are going to be showcasing on how educators can help unleash the child's creativity and enable a mindset that is the shift from being the consumer of technology to the creators of technology. And for sure, as per the McKinsey Global Institute, from 2020 onwards, 90% of all the jobs will require significantly more creativity than before. And that is what is the sense like we as educators need to, harness not only the skills of our children, but we also need to be prepared for the new notion. Well, the question comes like, as an educator, how and why the children should be learning coding, what way and what methodology we will be adopting. There are ways and means we follow. We ask them to do the flow charting, we ask them to do algorithm, and then they do the coding. But at times, there are scenarios wherein, the children just jump over and they do the programming on the computer right away, without thinking, without any logic thinking or any creativity. They just move on to do the coding part. But we need to emphasize on the fact that the right way is to write the algorithm, develop a flowchart, and then go ahead as a programming capsule. The tips to cope up with these challenges come with the fragrance of encapsulating the learning and how I'm going to be doing so in the classroom as an educator. Well, teaching ICT skills also integrates the very productivity of how best I'm going to be defining the learning in the classroom. This also rotates to the very accomplishment and the connect in the classroom, which I'm going to make with the reference to platforms like that of Edutopia. Now, edutopia.org is a platform where you get to know about all inception and incorporation of technology in education globally. And that is what is this website all about. I'll just play the audio there.
Yes, my dear friends, Edutopia is one such wonderful platform by George Lucas Educational Foundation. It's a technology integration platform which allows a powerful model for understanding good tech integration with various topics. It allows great articles and, of course, videos on learning about how to teach, how to explore the best of integration within classrooms. And at the very time, it allows you, the teachers, to share your own ideas. There are topics wherein, for example, we have teacher development, so 5 ways to obtain the PDPs during pandemic. So, of course, innovating without abandoning the what works, collaboration, collective inquiry, the power of being seen, homework, how much is too much, somewhat like, wonderful ideas. And then, of course, you have videos, and you can even put your ideas to connect as per the grades. You can even share the topics on subjects related to your own interest, and then get to learn. For I believe the more we learn, the more we earn in terms of honor, recognition, and pride. And that is Edutopia for you.
So, Edutopia is a platform which I believe every ICT teacher should be visiting on the go, on the move, because every time, it keeps on uploading and associating with the integration of technology in the curriculum, in the classroom, both as a model of understanding with good tech integration all around. In addition, we also need to understand that coding or the programming helps kids develop problem solving skills. So we need to also make our classroom interesting, because at times when we are teaching, it may be, machine oriented, it may be practical oriented. But to make it interesting in the classroom, we need to talk about the trial and the error and the understanding of the cause and the effect. Like when the child presses a particular key and there is an error, the debugging is equally important, and we need to analyze all what is possible through the debugging as an analyzed format of reasoning, above all coming together with the innovative solutions which we come across for designing that particular program or using a particular application. Coding, as we call it, is the new literacy. It talks about thriving in tomorrow's world. Children must learn to design, create, and express using the digital technologies. That's what, as a statement from MIT, USA. Of course, coding improves the child's reasoning and problem solving skills, and it also enhances their ability to understand the abstract concepts. So, what do we do as an educator? What do we do? How do we orient these skills, in our classrooms? Is through, first of all, mastering those skills ourselves as educators, We have platforms like Udemy, and of course YouTube as an add-on, wherein you can always look for the tutorials and then come out to best practice it online with the portals. You don't need to. You can always help out the Cloud Connect for the needful. Whether the skill is related to word processing, the spreadsheet, the database management, the electronic presentation, the internet navigation, email management, networking, and the touch typing, along with the list is high. But for sure, we are looking forward to, as per the content syllabus and the curriculum, there is always an expertise towards learning. Then for sure, how creative is your classroom comes first, because it's not only that the children are always excited to go to the practical room, and teaching them computers or ICT skills, online, or maybe when they are not in the lab, they are actually, offline. So teaching them on the whiteboard or using the ready computer connected through the LCD projector is a good means of teaching and engaging them, so that they do it the same way they go. And I would prefer that all the theory classes can be held, in the lab itself, so there is no mention of going to the practical room in particular. So that is one good practice, which because it's a 100% practical oriented subject, and keeping that pace in view, it is a good practice that we while we draft or while we develop the computer room, it's good that we always have a proper lecture room with the terminals there on each table, so that they can write it as well as they can do the practicals at the same time. And this is one of the coding skills which transforms the children to not only the consumer of being the tech world, but also the creator for that technology. And at time when all the roads lead to technology led, for sure the importance of computer as a subject is been growing, with the march of time. And for that reason, the coding skills need to be encapsulated, need to be revisited, need to be adhered to with what best I'm going to be teach as an educator. Now, when I'm looking forward to the approaches and the strategies, this particular pedagogy transforms to the very format of learning as a priority. Now, children are oriented towards online practicals. They visit the online portals, and they also look forward to, exhibiting their talents by coding through various platforms, and through whether it's interpreter based or whether it's compiler based, it's all coming together. So for that reason, we have to have some good virtual classroom community being developed. And for that reason, I have a special mention of this particular community, which talks about Canva. Canva is a wonderful platform wherein children can do creative designing, teachers can do creative designing, and even they can work out to that very spectrum of designing, drafting. It is actually an easy way to create, collaborate, and communicate in the classroom and beyond. Whether you are teaching in person or remotely, finding a way to engage your students has never been simpler. So it talks about K-12 standard and the connect. And what Canva is all about, I believe many of you must be using it already. It talks about the integration, being creative. It not only has a creative design with social media, events, marketing, downloading. For sure they can develop videos, they can develop PPTs, and many more related to school related identity. This is the screen which talks about that preference.
Now, friends, Canva, as I told you, is a website which is by the name of canva.com. And here we have many templates, and we also have templates which may be used for uploading your pictures or designs on social media. Then we have personal as a form of invitation card, resume, postcard, planner, t-shirt. Business, we have presentation here. We have website development, logo designing is there, business card, invoice, proposal, and also for marketing. We have poster design, flyer, infographic, brochure, newsletter, menu. For education, that's the best thing. Why we are introducing it here is that we have lesson plan design, worksheet design. They have ready-made templates there. We have to just figure out the values. Certificate designing is there. The storyboard is there. The bookmarking, the class scheduling. Then we have the trending one, which is the Zoom background, the concept maps, the mind maps, which can teachers can use it, the greeting cards, the mental health posters, and the education presentation. So just to have a reference, we have it in this form. All the designs, the brand kit, the creator team. And the best part is that we don't require this to be downloaded. It is all present in the cloud, and we are able to do it the best way possible. These are designed, made by me, so they're already stored there. And then we have logos, we have posters. These are all ready-made designs. So I'll try to, come up to some of the school-related activities. So I click here, school. And for that, we have ready-made posters, informative presentations, brochures, worksheet, lesson plan, yearbook, class schedule, mind map. So these are the things I will just initiate, say probably I want to do a presentation for my children, right, which can have any number of slides with wonderful pictures and even music and videos. So this is actually for free, but in order to have a pro version, we'll have to pay. But as a standalone worker, I believe that it is all for the free option also, it works well. So I have an essence here. Say, for example, I want to do something on science. So there's a template already made. So probably, or say, for example, a student's guide to learning from home. There are 10 slides already made. So if I click on one of the things here, it gets copied here. And then with the help of this, we can add presenter notes. We can copy the very thing, duplicate page, or we can add pages. So I add one more page and I copy the second slide here. Then I add one more page, I copy the third slide here. Then I add one more page, I copy the fourth slide here. Now I can also change to this. For example, plan your day ahead. I want to write, have a nice day. Right? So this is, there are 4 pages in this particular presentation, and I can present this presentation as to see how it is. So it asks what way you want to present, whether you want to autoplay, whether you want to presenter view. And the best part is that when I present it, it appears as if, it's a presentation altogether. Right? So this is the presentation format which is being presented. Similarly, the best part is that we can download it, right? So this arrow is for download. There are many ways to download. We can download it as a standard PDF. We can download it as PDF print. We can download it as MP4 video, or a zip file, or a JPG, or a PNG. Now also we can introduce the many segments, like we can upload our own image, we can upload pictures, photos from our desktop. We can have various format of elements here. Right? We can have, for example, this. I want to insert this. So many of the pictures are free, of course. The others may require your pro versions. We can always work. Then you have text. You want to introduce this text. Say I want to introduce this as wow. So this comes here, right? And then we can include music also. Music is all included in all the pages. So any music I want to include, I can preview the music here. And then I can just put this music here. So now when I present my thing, it will be displayed as a part of the presentation. Then we can also include videos. Now these videos are free as well. just put my video here. And now this video starts playing with my presentation. It becomes a part of my presentation. Say I insert a new page here and I put this video here, right? So we can just maximize this video, minimize this video. It's a part of a plain picture, right? So we can test it like this, and we can put in music to it. Say, for example, music can be brought here, so this goes very nice along with the video. So this is how we can do it. And we can also change the background of any, say this is the screen, we can change the background to blue or to this, and then we can also have many more features here, including these formats. So I request that you can always try, and the more you try, the more you get the best of it. And then we get back to it. This was just one of the presentations I showcased. You can always go back with this, and then try to resize the element, try to go back to home, and then whatever data was done, it gets saved automatically, right? So this was an untitled work which was there left. So this is getting opened up. Now, for example, I want to, create a poster for our school, say for Vande Mataram. So just click on this. It is already there, so that will come up. And now if you want to place the name of the school here, you can do it. You can just always put in through text, right? And you can just write a small text here. You can write the name of the school here, or any other information you want to convey, and then you can always download it, right? So it says these are you can download, share the link, present, Facebook page, and all. So when I say download, it will ask in what form I want to download, whether in PDF, whether in JPG, and now you will find MP4 also if it has music or something. Then since there is a use of a premium image here, so that premium here you can see in the background it is written Canva. Now these images are paid images, so if you don't want this, you can always delete it and put it for yourself. And in that case, when you download, it will not ask for any money, right? And you can download it in PDF standard, JPG, PNG, so this is MP4. So you can download. Once you download it, say for example JPG, I want to download. This is the name of the file. We can give it my work, for example, and then I can just download it, right? PDF file, and download. So you can see it prepares your file and it gets downloaded. Right, here it is. Now I can just click on it, and this file gets opened, and it automatically gets loaded in your PDF file. So all your work, all your spectrum can always be defined, and all my work gets stored by default in the cloud. So even if after 1 year of doing, I can always retrieve my work. So that's the beauty. See, these are my design. These two designs I've created right now. So this was Canva, and the more you use it, the more perfection you gather. And this is really a great. You can always form a presentation, Facebook covers, YouTube channel, videos you can make, right? And many of them free of cost. And animated social media uploads you can develop for your school Facebook page. And this is the format, right? So you can even develop your animated logos. It all gets with a simple download option. Use flyers you can develop, get ready for school, let's go back to school. So similar things you can develop, and let all your teachers know about it, all your colleagues know about it, so that it is, you develop the quality. You can even develop your resume here, the photo collages, the gaming logos, the Instagram ads, brochures can be designed very easily. Then invitations. So these really it has come up. Then you have simple design of certificates, simple presentations, desktop wallpapers, education presentations, business cards. There's so many of them, and every day they are adding something or the other as a design. So this is, friends, really, really a great assistance to the format, and I'm very sure once you start working on it, you'll become a perfect designer and a great assistance for your environment. Thank you.
So that was Canva, and now we have another wonderful platform which allows you, as educators to be innovative educators. Why below that? The thing which talks about it is the engagement. Now here you will be able to teach your students how to be creative and innovative using the ICT tools. Not only this, you need to look forward to many things which come under the DIY, that is do it yourself module, which they can use their own devices and explore it to the wonders of learning. So this is instructables.com, instructables.com, and it's with this format. I'm just going to play the information for this as well.
Now, friends, Instructables is a website which is a community for people who like to make things. Come and explore, share, and make your next project with us. So it's a wonderful platform, and you can always tell your children to go through it. It allows step by step, easy to learn how to make everything, anything, in fact, one step at a time, from the stovetop to the workshop. You're sure to be inspired by the awesome projects that they are sharing every day, made by you in a healthy place. It is created by you in the sense, like, no matter who you are, we all have secret skills to share. Come join our community of curious makers, innovators, teachers, and lifelong learners who love to share what they make. It's a happy place which allows making of things, making people happy, and it says we can't prove it, but we know it is true. Find your happy place and join one of the friendliest online communities anywhere. Some of the wonderful projects available here, like Open Laser Blaster, the ultimate binary watch, the time measure, the keyboard cap macro watercolor bots. Then do it yourself easy live edge decks, 3D printed spinning percentile dice. One very fascinating thing which I got to know about was the Alexa controlled bookshelf lightning. And when I click on this, I get the information, and there's a video which says about what it is and how to go about.
Hello, in this video, I'll be showing you how to build a bookshelf having a unique staggered shelf design with soothing diffuse warm white LED lighting, which can be controlled using Amazon Alexa. Alexa, turn on bookshelf.
So this is just one of the formats available, and then we also have many other, like the shoelace charms, very innovative format which defines how to go about. It explores the supplies.
So this was some of the attributes shared through this website, and of course, as computer teachers, we are told to, at times, do some project work, engage the students with the programming skills, and other beneficiaries need to be undertaken. So this is the platform which can be utilized for that purpose. Next we have is the competency via flowcharting and algorithms. As I mentioned earlier, that the programming need to be governed through the algorithm writing and the flowcharting. So it has to start from the right age group, and for every programming they do, they need to be actually exploring it through algorithms and the flowchart. So that's becomes an expertise rather a requisite. Then for sure, what programming for kids talk about, it's like another term for coding, which we relate to and we all know about it. We've been doing it for the very spectrum on the move. But for sure, what will your child learn? Yes, there is a sequence, there is data types, the loops, what we introduce in our classrooms as a part of simple programming, and make it more simpler by explaining it before they make their flowchart or convert to their algorithm in a big way. Also the decision making, the data structures, the classes, the objects, and the functions, because right from class 6 onwards we are trying to introduce boolean algebra, even binary logic, further say to make them understand about the digital circuits and the gates, how the computation is done. So this type of a readiness is so very important, and you can always introduce it class wise to them for the special mention. And once they learn about it, the decision making, the data structure all become clear with the very preference of the basics. Then the design thinking framework and the artificial intelligence, we are always clubbing with majority of the schools going for Python programming. So when Python programming and R programming for say, I would request that you need to also encapsulate the learning and make it a go for this very mention of what and why of R programming and the Python programming, because it relates to artificial intelligence, the three formats of artificial intelligence, which talks about image recognition, the data recognition, and of course, the data manipulation through natural language processing. So all the three integration need to be judged well. Then, as an add on, we also have Internet of Things, IoT, as a part of a theory, but you have to make it, practical in the sense like otherwise you teach them what, so it becomes more like teaching history. So don't let all your classes in computer science, particularly computer applications or ICT class, go that blank that the children sleep with their eyes open. So that has to be a special mention. You need to look out for that what and why about teaching things. So Internet of Things, you can always talk about real things that are the cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and other things. So there has to be some special mention of the physical objects known as things, and they are embedded with sensors, software, and other technologies that is used for the purpose of connecting and engaging, exchanging data, as well as through the other devices of the internet. That's what Wikipedia says, and we need to make it mention, in your classroom. Then for sure, as a teacher, you need to make sure that there is an expected outcome in a computer class. So the very outcome here should be, targeted on the move, that they should be good at logic framing. Framing of the logic is so much required. They should understand, and that is what we call it decision making or this digital thinking. And that is to create advanced programs. For sure they can convert it into advanced games or the real life projects, but that digital thinking, like the if then else approach, has to be modified. So in addition, they are doing visual programming with VB. Also, many of the schools have been imparting it through the online portals. And that's what even Sundar Pichai says, that we want every kid in this world to be excited about the many possibilities coding can unlock for themselves and for their communities and their societies as well. So that is a special mention we need to look forward to by, motivating our children to create a game. For sure they are always look out for a simple game, through graphics or through any programming background. That way creating a game has become a priority, and even app, so I shall be discussing some of the platforms where even, you can develop, ask your children to create apps as well. Kids who code test plus 75% higher in logic and abstract thinking. Coding balances left and right brain and the convergent and the divergent thinking to enable peak creative expressions. So that's the beauty, and how will it benefit your student in the classroom? For sure, it's going to increase the logical thinking by over 60%. And it also enhances problem solving skills. It even, executes and boosts the creativity and computational skills in a big way. So the spectrum here lies with the connect, that how I'm going to make my children learn the logic and the structure to command tech tools to generate outcomes, and how they are going to be making the app or the algorithm or the flowchart or a simple coded program. For that, we need to have a special mention of lesson planning of our IT curriculum. So make sure you have online platforms where children can do standalone programming without downloading the interpreter or the software to their standalone, because in that case we have so many errors, the definition of the path misses out and other things. So always look out, whenever you're doing programming, you always need to look out for online portals for execution of the program, and ask your children to share the screenshot of the output screen as well as the coded screen. So this is how they gather that competency, and they are able to share with you any debugging or any, for say, some expertise required. And this must include practicals and skills via the online portals. And I repeat, online portal here, whether you're doing it at home or you're doing it in a physical classroom, make sure that you make use of the online portals available for that structure. Also, the gamification has come up of the view, in learning via you using augmented reality, virtual reality, or even artificial intelligence. The implementation for kids is a big task to execute. So I'll have a special mention for the augmented reality here, where it's a combination, as you must be knowing, as teachers, of the real scene as well as observed by the virtual, and it's created by the computer software. So the scenes are augmented to appear one, and you can always check out for a simple ad of Mahindra SUV on the YouTube, where the cheetah was put on the Mahindra. Cheetah was virtual and Mahindra was real, of course. So you can see that video on the YouTube after this session of mine to understand a practical example of augmented reality. For sure, what is AR talks about augmented reality plus is equal to real world plus the virtual real. And of course, I'll make it clear to you with the help of a simple combination of the virtual and the real object in the best of the possible ways. So here comes a particular see. As you can see, the crow is on my fist or my hand on my palm, that way. And even both ways, characters on my hands, you can see. So these are the two features, two pictures which I've taken with the help of the software, and I made it possible with the help of the AR platform. And all this is also possible with the help of the merge cube. Now, merge cube is of this form, as you can see. It is a form of a merge cube where every side of the cube has some printed character, right? And now these characters, when they are sensed or read by the mobile camera, and with the help of the software or the app installed inside, they start playing that respective video, and you feel as if you're in a magical world altogether. So this is a merge cube, and I would request all of you to get the merge cube out of the blue. Just you have to take a printout of a proper page and fold that printout in the form of a merge cube, and it's available for you. So there's a special mention of this merge cube, which gives you a good example of an experiential learning as well. And see, this is the holographic tube for the augmented reality, and it looks like semi-rigid black silver rubber with many symbols on each side, lightweight and comfortable to hold even for a child. So this is the format, and I'll be happy to share this about it, so you can Google it also. And how I come to it is the hologram which I have in my hand, you can see. And that respect also covers with the notion that this is the thing you're going to be Googling: merge cube printable.pdf. Just Google the word merge cube printable.pdf, and you'll find a PDF file opening in front of you. Take a printout and join that. After cutting it through scissors, you will get this spectrum, right? So this is what you're going to be defining it, and how I'm going to use it is I'm going to tell you here, so that you can bring some innovation, wow element in your classroom while you're teaching, because these are the techniques, the divide approach that comes with the march of time.
Now, friends, this is my cube, and I'm able to rotate it here. I have made it, and now I'll be utilizing it as a part of my augmented module. And this merge cube is described, as you know, by its developer as the hologram you hold in your hand. It is a foam cube with different designs on each side. When held in front of your device's camera while using a variety of merge cube apps, right? So we are able to get to the digital 3D objects and the screens. So we can move and rotate the cube in your hand to see the things from different angles, and it's truly an amazing experience. So we shall try doing it using one of our apps, and we'll try exploring it.
For sure, I'll try exploring it with the help of the mobile, and here you can see the next video wherein I'm using my mobile phone to explore this.
So this is the magic cube over here, and I'm able to scan it. And when I bring my phone along with the software, so the software is aligned there. I close it, I open it. This is the part. So Mr. Body is one of the applications here, a part of that software which I've got it loaded. And here it is able to scan. So the name of the app is Explorer. I click it here. It says Explorer Merge. Welcome to Merge Explorer. And I'm able to execute it, load it. And the cube is in front of me, you can see. And now it's ready for execution. So the objective is there are three options here: start free trial, restore purchase, and skip. So skip is not that visible, but we have to press it. And here we have, say for example, the solar system explorer. So we'll just click on the solar system, and it says about galactic explorer beside the sun and the planet. So we have the first activity here. We'll just
in this experience, tap on individual planets to expand them and see more information. Take your time to explore. Read the pop-up information panels about all the objects you come across.
Okay.
How many moons can you find?
So for 6 to 8, we can have some activity, and then at the same time, we just go back to, check on this. It says, when I hold it in my hand, see that the square goes moving, and these are all the data. I hold this cube in my hand, and I'm having the fun of augmented reality. You can see how innovative it is, how innovative, right? So I'm able to hold it in my hand. It has all the pictures, it has the definition, talks about the sun, and when it gives you the value of the sun, and I'm able to click on to get to know more about the distance, the relation period, rotation period, and other things. And then when I rotate on ground, I get to more information. Then I move again back to my another spectrum: Mr. Body, a frog's life, water and weather, the food web, the rock history of Earth, for example. There's an activity here.
So this is the example of the merge cube application, which you can do it in the classroom itself, and with the devices, not only the mobile, but of course with the tabloid as well, and any of the device will work in this particular fragrance. So this is the merge
The
cube,
merge cube
as I
offers a
showed
unique
you.
way to interact with augmented reality content. 3D content is linked to the cube and then can be viewed either on the phone or using the special Merge VR headset. Since the launch of the Merge Cube in 2017, we've seen a definite shift towards education. So let's take a look at the top 5 educational apps for the Merge Cube.
Object Viewer is one of the apps which is available free of cost on the Google Play Store. And I'll mention again few more apps which comes, and this is some examples of how the children are using. You can make your IT classroom more interesting by telling them about augmented reality and the virtual reality, the artificial intelligence, and these are some of the ways you can make your classroom interesting. Now, these are some of the apps which are available for the Merge. So the first one is the party games for Merge Cube, which is free of cost. Then Mr. Body for Merge Cube. Then we have Cube Paint, Dino Digger, Mystical Moon. So you can just check out Merge Cubes. You can write on the Play Store and you'll get so many apps. You can download them. They are free of cost. And with the help of this particular Merge Cube, you can, make it so very easy for the children. They can develop their own Merge Cube and even they can practice it at home. And this is some way, you can teach the concept of augmented reality in a big way. So this is the great learning for the children as well, and starts with you, the educator. So what are you waiting for? You can just go and integrate yourself. Apart from that, remember that your teaching should be integrated with STEAM, with science, technology, arts, and above skills. So that comes with the connect, with the concept, with the coding, with the contemplating, and the continuation of what you're going to be doing as an educator. So since coding encourages and develops innovation, you can always develop. Then we have design thinking, making coding circuits. That comes with, of course, the Python, the artificial intelligence. All those schools who are teaching AI can also do some practical notion by collecting and processing the high store data through the visualization, creating the practical applications, chatbots, prediction, and forecasting tools available online. Then, of course, you can even connect to with AI and robotics, publish the review and research solutions, and add on to this what even Mark Zuckerberg rightly says that for sure the younger siblings who are going to college, you should learn how to do programming. So teaching programming skills is going to be certainly a very, very wonderful task, and we need to look forward how best we are going to be doing it. Assessing for learning and assessing for the classroom teaching comes with the preface of how best I'm going to be defining my classroom habits and the very inertia of engaging them in the classroom through the programming skills, which can be Scratch, Python, or for any simple reason, giving them options to learn through this portal. And for sure, these are some of the portals where you can learn as a part of teaching with good logic. So Code Academy is one such platform where teachers can learn and of course teach the way you can do it the best way possible. Then we have Free Code Camp is one of the most popular platforms you can find to learn, and then of course you can teach your children to the best of the learning. Udacity is again one such platform wherein you can teach and for sure you can learn first and then of course teach in your normal classroom. And then Udemy is a platform where you have many courses available of how to make your classrooms interesting by teaching Scratch. So you can always, they are just 1 hour course, 40 minutes courses are there free of cost. So you can always develop some notion of teaching, and learning to write programs stretches your mind and helps you think better, creates a way of thinking about things and what way I can be helpful in all domains. That's what even Bill Gates rightly says. So a part that works for you should be integrated, should be integrated with the very essence of coding as an educator. Also have a special mention here that what else you can include in a part of your coding or your programming skills It can be interactive program, it can be web designing, it can be circuit simulation, MIT app developer. So I'll just share this website. And then scratch coding, of course, you people are doing it in such a wonderful manner. Then this is the first platform which I wanted to discuss is about the and programming, which is Arduino education, which allows classroom programs integration. And we have a kit, and then of course the science kit for the schools. You can even teach them about the coding skills through the interpretation of creative electronic projects. This is the package which comes. And then of course it's easy, engaging, complete, and flexible on the move. Then this is the kit I wanted to mention. And then which programming skills you need to talk about is the very requisite you need to teach right from the beginning. The children should know about uh, the framework of developing a logic. So the logic development is a priority, which can be utilized using some of the statements, functions, commands, and operations like that of if else, switch, for, while, subroutine, more like goes above basic. Recursion, how with the minimized steps of programming, with the help of recursion you can just minimize 100-line program by just 2 line or 5 line, with the help of the recursion process. You call it again and again, and that's the beauty of recursion and the repeat and the until. So that's the preface on the move. And then some of the programming skills you should be learning on the move are defined here. So Python to start with, then of course JavaScript, Java, C, C Sharp, PHP, Ruby, Go, and of course we have the easiest one, which is the Scratch you're teaching. So, but for sure, we are trying to encapsulate the better format of learning with different categories on the move. So don't think that that's not in your course or that's being taught in class 12. No, please, dear teachers, make sure that you have a ready reference at least of all these languages. No wonder next time the book which you are going to teach has that, or for sure there's a change in the syllabus and they have a special mention of it. So we are trying to catch hold of the requiredness by the boards. So Scratch is just the basic, and then comes the programming. So that is what we need to understand. Predict the output, emphasize on the Scratch as a real coding language, and it gives a wonderful base to the very spectrum, right? So these are all things which I wanted to mention as a part of teaching today. And I'm really excited to be a party to this wonderful exercise. And I'm very sure all you people are well oriented on what I shared on the move. And I'm really thankful to DG Nurture for giving this platform to me to share with you. And the learning goes on, of course. And as an IT teacher, there's always a challenge, what's new. So please be on a lookout for these websites which I've shared, and that notion comes with the priority in hand. So all the best to all of you teachers watching us. And once again, I want to thank Urja for this particular notion. And I'm very happy to note that we have such a big audience there to make sure about the learning as a priority. So God bless everybody. Thank you so much for joining us, and take care and stay safe.